Chad, do you have anything to say?
I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine. In my thoughts, obsession. I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments.
He basically comes at you with the bat, you tell him to put it down, spread, like, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. And then he just came at you, you shot him. Yeah. Okay. Call me a Call me a Call me a
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me. Put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny.
Call me a Call me a Call me a
I got a God complex. Haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
They call me a Call me a Call me a Call me a
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. You wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me. Put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grave 6 feet like Kenny.
Call me a Call me a Call me a
Hey, y'all. We're starting out tonight and we're being just real casual because Cresha's going to, I think, come in a little bit. And, you know, this week has been particularly hard. And I say every week for the past 3 or 4 years has been particularly hard for them. But somehow having the court just say to you, it's like you're not illegally entitled to your feelings about what's going on by being told who can give an impact statement and who cannot, because this case has truly impacted the whole nation the world. And I mean, really, it's just unthinkable, the things that have happened. And it's really more than humans can bear under, to have all this going on. And we're going to read some victim impact statements, and we're trying to get them queued up and emailed in. And so in the meantime, I'm gonna replay some of Cresh's videos, and if you would talk amongst yourself in the chat while I get a video queued up, and also try to get some of the emails here so that I can read some of the victim statements to you. So let's see what we can find. Besides, we don't want to. Let's see. I'm going to play a video, I think, with try to play a video that has some of the things about the kids in them. So if you'll just bear with me for a minute while I find that. Let's see here. Hold on, folks. You just talk amongst yourself for a minute. And see what we can find. I know one thing is Kresha dropped some videos this week that were very good. And so I'm going to bring up this video and play it while I queue up some of the victims' impact statements. Present.
Part 2, Uncovered. This is part 2 in a 3-part series diving into Lori's psychological profile, the deaths connected to her, and a timeline reconstruction of what happened to Lori's children, JJ and Tylee. The death web. The first thing that caught my attention when reading about this case was the number of people in connection to Lori that have mysteriously died, all in a short amount of time. It's one thing for someone to say they have bad luck, it's another thing to say that there's been a lot of death in their family. However, it's a completely different ballgame when an ex-husband, a husband, 2 children, a lover's wife, and a brother all die nearly back to back, in that order. Am I saying that Lori personally killed all 6 of these individuals? No. Is it possible that Lori played some role in masterminding or orchestrating at least 2 of these deaths? A jury will soon decide. To better understand the heartbreaking events that transpired throughout September 2019 resulting in JJ and Tylee having their lives taken, we must first untangle all of the intricate relationships Lori had with the people that died around her. Below is a chronological list detailing all 6 individuals' deaths. Joseph Ryan, Lori's 3rd ex-husband. Joseph dies under mysterious circumstances on April 3, 2018. Joseph Joe Ryan's body was found in his Maricopa County, Arizona apartment by a neighbor's dog that kept alerting its owner about a strange smell, even though the cause of death was conclusively ruled as a heart attack. Investigators reopened his case after his family released an audio recording of Lori Vallow speaking to a religious group about her custody fights with him. "I was going to murder him," Lori can be heard saying in the recording, referring to Joseph Ryan. "I was going to kill him like the scriptures say."
It's been a long journey. I had a changing point in your life, right? You're a member of the church your whole life. I always loved the Lord. There's a turning point in my life that turned me to the temple. And this is what I teach everybody. And my change of heart was to the temple. So I had been married to someone who was very awful, who raped my children. And I had divorced him and gotten away from him. And he had joined the church. He spoke in state conference. Everyone thought he was wonderful. He was very good showman of all those things. And after we were divorced, he told everybody that I was this lying, crazy Mormon, and got up in court and said all these horrible things about me and turned it around to where the judges believed him instead of me. And he was constantly trying to get custody of my 3-year-old daughter and just to rub it in my face. And I went through a lot of years of this kind of hard stuff. And I was going to murder him. I was going to kill him, like the scriptures say, like Nephi killed him, just to stop the pain and to stop him coming after me and to stop him coming after my children. And I just felt I couldn't take it anymore. And I would go through the scriptures and find all the things like, if he comes against you once, if he comes against you twice, if he comes against you 3 times, then you can kill him. It says it in the scriptures. In the book of Mormon. I was like, there it is. There's my answer. I don't want to do anything that's wrong. I did not have a murderous heart. I just wanted to stop the bleeding and stop the pain. And so someone wise was speaking to me and said, you need to go to the temple. So I went and met my bishop, and I was like, I'm either going to turn my life to the temple or I'm going to commit murder. So do you want to give me a temple recommend? And I was perfectly honest, because at that point I had nothing to lose. You get to the bottom rung and I had nothing to lose. And he gave me my temple recommend. And I started going to the temple every week by myself, not with my current husband, just by myself to the temple, to the Mesa Temple, which I love.
We also know that the couple had a tumultuous past, shining a light on a possible motive and a common violent thread: Alex Cox. In 2006, Joseph filed a motion against Lori, saying he had been denied visitation rights with his daughter Tylee. This dispute led to Alex Cox threatening and assaulting Joe with a stun gun in a parking lot. Alex was charged with the crime and ultimately spent 3 months in jail for the brutal attack. Charles Vallow, Lori's 4th ex-husband. Alex Cox shoots Charles twice on July 11, 2019. Despite all accounts of a long and happy marriage, warning signs and red flags that friends saw in 2018 quickly began to manifest into reality. Lori's religious beliefs about zombies, possession, and the end of the world, and her behavior around JJ and Tylee became too much. Charles saw no way out of the situation other than to file for divorce and alert the police to Lori's thoughts. Also fearing for his safety based on constant life-threatening claims that Lori would make against him, Charles also filed for an order of protection against Lori on February 4, 2019. Charles also tells his attorneys, "I want to make sure that everyone knows that if something happens to me, Lori and Alex did it." It's as if Charles is speaking from beyond the grave. And, as aforementioned in part 1, Lori openly told friends, particularly Melanie Gibb, that she believed Charles would be killed in a car accident just in time for her to marry Chad before the end of the world. But, as time passed and Charles didn't die at the hands of the universe, Lori orchestrated his death for him, and transferred $35,000 out of their bank account into hers just before his death. On the evening of July 10, Lori invites Alex Cox to stay overnight with Charles and the children at their house. The following morning, Alex and Charles get into a premeditated argument, where Alex eventually shoots Charles 2 times in the chest at point-blank range. When the police and paramedics arrive 43 minutes later, Charles is dead, and Alex says he acted in self-defense because Charles allegedly charged Lori with a baseball bat. Alex is never held accountable for the homicide, and Lori openly says how angry she is over not receiving his life insurance money. Tylee Ryan, Lori's daughter with Joseph Ryan, killed sometime early Sept. 2019. Tylee vanished in early September of 2019. She was last seen alive with her family in Yellowstone National Park. Soon after disappearing, Lori told friends and family that Tylee was studying at a nearby university. This was never the case, and Tylee's body was found buried in Chad Daybell's backyard in June of this year. J.J. Vallow, Lori's adopted son with Charles Vallow, killed sometime late September 2019. J.J. went missing in late September 2019, only 2 weeks after his sister. According to detectives, he was last seen alive by a verifiable source on September 23 at Kennedy Elementary School. The following day, JJ's school records were pulled, and Lori said she was going to homeschool him. This was also never the case, and JJ's body was found buried in Chad Daybell's backyard in June of this year. Tammy Daybell, Chad Daybell's former wife. She dies under mysterious circumstances on October 19, 2019. Tammy reportedly goes to bed on the night of October 18, having a coughing fit. The next morning, she's found dead, and the coroner examines her body, but the Daybell family doesn't request an autopsy. Tammy's death was initially ruled to be from natural causes. Her death shocked many, but not because of its sudden tragedy. It was shocking because many friends in the LDS cult knew it would happen, but didn't believe Chad and Lori would go through with it. Julie Rowe, an author who published several books with Chad, spoke to Inside Edition, saying, 3 weeks before Tammy dies, Chad said to me, and he was in this frustrated voice, "My plan can't move forward until Tammy's dead, or until Tammy dies," referring to his life plan, or the plan that God had for him.
3 weeks before Tammy dies, he said to me, and he was kind of in this frustrated voice, "My plan can't move forward until Tammy's dead."
Lori also reportedly spoke openly about the life she would have with Chad once Tammy died. In December 2019, the Fremont County Sheriff's Office began calling Tammy Daybell's death suspicious. Her body was exhumed, and an autopsy was performed. The results are not publicly released, but the Daybell children were told she had been asphyxiated. It's important to note that the Daybell children don't believe their father had anything to do with the death of their mother or J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. Alex Cox, Lori's brother, who dies on December 12, 2019. Alex Cox, 51, was found in his Rexburg, Idaho apartment, already deceased in this bathroom. An autopsy completed in May 2020 concluded that a pulmonary blood clot caused his death. His full autopsy report can be found here. His autopsy and toxicology reports weren't unusual, but many question how a man tangled up so tightly in this case could die out of sheer coincidence, especially since Alex had a direct hand in a few of the earlier deaths. Explore Part 3 in this 3-part series, Crime Scene Reconstruction. Go back to Part 1 in this 3-part series. Andrea Cipriano is the digital content specialist at Uncovered, where she writes for the twice-weekly true crime newsletter, The Citizen Detective. Andrea graduated with a Master of Arts in Forensic Psychology from John Jay College of Criminal Justice, where she focused on researching and peeling back the criminal mind. Andrea believes that it's never too late for justice. Uncovered is building a community around collective impact for cold cases and supporting further education to develop citizen detective skills.
So we're trying to get these emails queued up still, and if you have sent a impact statement to Kresha, she's trying to fix it where I can read from her email. She's going to come in and fix it where I can read from her email. But if you haven't sent one and you would like to send it now, could you please send your impact statement to lookatme.donnad@gmail.com. This is a fairly new email address, and that way the things that go in it, there's not enough in there to get mixed up with anything else. So lookatme.donnad@gmail.com and send any impact statements that you might have. And Kresha is supposed to be queuing these up for me, but I'm a little bit technically challenged, so it may take me a minute to get them up. And I'm sure glad to see so many in the chat. And And I'm seeing some very good comments. And anyway, it looks like it's so good to see Chuck Huber in the chat, and he says that he spent some time with Kay and Larry, and so he's giving a little report about them. And so he says that they seem to be doing as good as they could be doing. So that's good to know. And anyways, it has really been it's really been a difficult time for them. As I said, it's enough to be going through this and then to be told you're not legally allowed to feel some kind of way or have a impact on your life, when certainly it does have an impact on your life. So let me check these emails again and see if I've gotten the emails in. So I'm so sound like a kindergarten teacher. I love the way that you are chatting nicely amongst yourself and not being impatient with me. I appreciate that so much. Let's see. I don't know whether they're going to my junk mail or what's happening. Let's see here. What else I can do while I'm waiting to get these emails up, because I know y'all are really a good group of people and very patient, and have been here for Cresha, and that's why we're here, is for Cresha and for the family and for these victims' families, and to support them as they go through this most terrible thing that could ever happen to anybody. And it's just unthinkable. And I'm gonna tell you, well, I guess everybody's just like, where were you when this or that happened? But I had just moved from Tennessee to Mississippi in December of 2019. And I watch the news quite a bit because I work for a media company. And so we had just moved, and it was Thanksgiving weekend, 2019. And I heard that the 2 children were missing. And I heard that the lady was so religious, and all that. And so I had really hoped for the longest time that the kids were like in a bunker someplace with somebody. I mean, it's possible that, kids be kept like that, but it just wasn't to be. These monsters had no good intentions, and just no good intentions at all. And at any rate, I did follow the case of looking for the kids. And by the time that in June of 2020, when they were at Chad's property hunting for the kids and doing the search, and Nate Eaton was flying around in the helicopter above the property, I don't remember for what reason I was working from home that day. And as I said, I follow the news, so it's nothing for me to be working and following the news, since it is the news. And so it was just unbelievable that they found those children that way. And so I'm going to maybe read some statements by some other people when I get them. And I've got one from A. Aguilera. So I'm going to open that up and read that statement. So, here we go. Hello. Well, this is the first time that I share my feelings about this case in more detail. First, I want to thank Miss Cresha for allowing us to share our feelings. In this, because it has been a roller coaster. Though we didn't know these wonderful people, it's disgusting to know how these monsters were in society. I would like to be addressed as A for privacy purposes. I'm sorry I've read your name out. I apologize. I've read your name out and you didn't want that at all. Okay, I'm going to stop with this one and come back to it later because I don't want to read this lady's story when she said she didn't want it to be spread. So I've got some more, but I'm going to start reading those. And I'm going to come back to you, Miss A. I'll come back to you. Okay. So I got several now up here that I can read. Okay, here we go. I'll come back to you, Miss A. And I'm not going to read who this is from right now until the end because I don't know that it might be that she might not want everybody to know either. Hi, Cresha. I'm one of your YouTube subs. I was wanting to send you and your sweet Mama Kay a little something in the mail. I hope this is am I supposed to be reading this too? In the mail. Have you seen the new line of products of Bath and Body Works? They are named Love Always Wins. I will add some photos below. Have you seen the nice? Okay. If you have a P.O. box, I will mail it to you. I would love to send you and your mama some products just because I wanted to. It's time to pamper yourselves a bit after all that you've been through. And I will give the brief story of how I came to know of the Lori Daybell cult mom case. See, I read the part you weren't supposed to read. Now I'm going to read the part I'm supposed to read. In January 2019, I was diagnosed with stage 3A DCIS breast cancer. I am thankful I live in Katy, Texas, and very close to MDA, a place of treatment. A new facility at the West Campus was being built right off of I-10 Eldridge, which is where I would complete my chemo treatments. In January 2020, my husband took me to Maui to celebrate getting through 1 year. Hang on with me. 1 year, an anniversary of my diagnosis, but soon afterwards, we all know what started to unfold with the pandemic. My treatment was still in the works, was delayed many times, and all of that was to say, as I was having surgeries, radiation, reconstruction, and healing. I did a lot of laying around watching YouTube. The first video I saw was Nate Eaton following Lori and Chad in Hawaii and asking about Tylee and JJ. I've always been fascinated, for the lack of a better word, for the mysterious and true crime. So I started to dive in and learn more and stayed glued to it. I forgot exactly how I came across your channel, but thankfully I did. And then I fell down their extremely long rabbit hole. Laugh out loud. I wore my bracelet and said many prayers for justice for you all. Now we await the next several trials and continue to pray for justice. Again, amen. Lord, hear our prayers. Some things that are not coincidences. I have lived in Katy, Texas since 2001, and I have a daughter that went through Katy ISD. I heard Katy talk about visiting here when C and I lived here. I don't know JoJo's age when he lived in Katy. I grew up all over the U.S. My dad worked for Rowan Drilling USA for 40 years, and we moved often. I spent 4 years in Salt Lake City, Utah, the most miserable place I've ever lived because I was not a Mormon, and that's the Lord. And thank the Lord, the people were not kind at all. I was in the 6th and 9th grade at the time. We did have some nice, kind Mormon neighbors that allowed me to babysit for their kids, and my brother's first wife was a Jack Mormon. We learned that a Jack part just meant that she was not practicing. One thing I have come to realize about the Mormons is they start a lot of companies such as Essential Oils, Young Living, Terra. I believe both of them are owned and operated and at least started by Mormon businessmen. I used to be into scrapbooking for 20 years, and I definitely a Mormon run, even being many Mormons, preserving memories and scrapbooking. It just made me pay more attention to these new fads that startup companies that the Mormons are always behind, and somehow and another just stating MO here, the Mormons have their hooks into more than you really know. Really crazy, in my opinion, considering their odd beliefs. Enough rambling. Okay, maybe I better not read any more of this one. Okay. Now I'm going to read this one. Okay. This one is from Beach Bum. Kresha, if this is terrible, or you don't like, here, I'm just all the time reading the wrong part. To Tylee and JJ, I never had the opportunity to meet you. However, through the videos and pictures, I feel as though I do know you both, albeit vicariously through others like your Aunt Kresha. Your laughter, joy, your eyes dancing with excitement of life, your love for each other, your family and friends, shows your love of life and who each of you truly are. I am thankful to have just a glimpse into your world. Although I didn't get to meet you on this earth, you brought many people together in the fight for love and justice. You both live in through the hearts of the beloved family members and friends. I knew you were both dancing and rejoicing with the Lord in the best place ever, heaven. Tylee and JJ, you have a far bigger impact here on earth than in your wee years could have known or imagined. You have brought the world together seeking truth, justice, and understanding, and above all, love. JJ, your laughter and singing and dancing is too precious for words. What a delightful young man you are. Thank you for sharing yourself with us. Tylee, you are the bestie of big sisters ever. Thank you for loving and protecting JJ. I understand your love of the beach and sea turtles. I am so glad you are never to be separated again from each other. Charles, while I do not know you through Kesha we were introduced. We were a great You were a great father, brother, uncle, and friend to many. Most importantly, you loved the Lord. You were a faithful servant. I am heartbroken over the senseless way the three of you left this earth, but I fully believed that out of the great community came together in your memory, friendships were forged worldwide. People who otherwise would have never known each other have been brought together by you. Charles, you were right. Love always wins. Just as the evil that took you away from their loved ones, life is but vapor. You have been reunited with the loved ones. You will be reunited with your loved ones one fine day, because you see, love is eternal. Rest in peace, Tylee J.J. Charles. You have not been forgotten. Beach Bum. That is beautiful. That is very beautiful. Okay, I'm going to read another one. Let's see here. I have to be careful because I'm always wanting to read the part that. Okay. I'm always wanting to read the part that maybe I shouldn't read. But, okay, so I'm going to go back and read this one. Okay. I am a little nervous here, but I do have a lot to say about this, so bear with me. I don't know how to describe people like Alex. I never knew you, thank God. I don't understand how an uncle can do this to their own niece, nephew, and brother in law. Was it worth it? Seriously, some might say you might be also a victim in this case, which I can see why if we were talking about mental health. At the end of the day, you are just as cruel and calculated as all of them, and I feel bad that no one gave you the help you needed through because you have been mentally ill and do something like that. You have to be mentally ill to do something like that. Bear with me while I find my place again. You have to be mentally ill to do something like that. Maybe in your case, it was mental illness, but I don't know. You were right about something. You were the fall guy. My question is, even though you were no longer here, did you at least see your victims? I know you did. I feel you did. Honestly, how many people have said they hope you rot in hell, and they are absolutely right. In my case, may God have mercy on your soul, seriously, because what you did is unforgivable. By the way, your sister and her husband, the prophet, lied to you. Look where you ended up. That's really sad. Actually, I pity you. To your wife's dilemma, honestly, how do you sleep at night? Seriously, how do you sleep at night knowing all these details? God knows what else you know, because I'm sure there is more. You have to be insane to go through this. Seriously, at the end of the day, they were your political niece and nephew. They were children. You didn't try to save them, not even once, by question to you, is it worth it? Was it worth it? What did you gain? Absolutely nothing. In fact, maybe one day you will have your day in court with David and Aubrey. I don't know how much about you, but did you guys hear what Alex's wife said that supposedly Chad told her? Have you thought for 1 second that these bastards most likely did to Tylee and she went through because from what we heard from JJ, it looks like he was spared of one thing, but we don't know about Tylee. It is cruel to the families not knowing what truly happened. Are you serious? How dare you use sacred beliefs and turn them into this? I don't know who your maker is. I really don't. But God have mercy on your soul. Your tears don't move me. Seriously, because having to live with that is tormenting. And I don't doubt in my mind that you hear these babies' voices probably saying, why? Please help me. Melanie Gibb, Tylee was really smart girl because she saw through your BS. Most likely JJ as well, because kids are really smart and they are not stupid. Oh no, they are really smart. They saw through you. Honestly, how do you sleep at night? Do you have a conscience? Are you even human? I don't even know, but there's special place in hell for you. Melanie P, aka Laurel 2.0. The fact that you are still free is disgusting. The fact that you got married again and had another child sickens me. Don't get me wrong. I have nothing against the baby. On the contrary, I hope they take the baby away from you. You should not be near your children because you wanted to do the same horror fest to your own children, allegedly. You had a husband that loved you and gave you a wonderful life and didn't try to kill you, unlike your Uncle Chud and his wife. Gave you beautiful children and didn't leave them behind. What do? You try to kill him for his money. Oh, but that's not all. You need more checks so your children, as well as you most likely know what the details are and of what happened to the kids. As a woman, don't you find it a little nauseating how your cousin was killed? That was femicide. You know what that is, the killing of a woman or a girl. Also, JJ's defenseless baby. I really don't know if he is the same age or if some of your children. Also, you took away your child's aunt and uncle. All for what? I do agree. You are a psychopath. You are but you're competent to stand trial. You manipulate so many people. I think that Tylee entirely most likely saw through you. I don't doubt my mind. JJ, maybe he still trusted you, but maybe he was starting to say, I'm not comfortable anymore. You threw your relatives under the bus. Also, YO and Ian, run because he was compatible with your first husband. Oh, she was compatible with you. Run. I hope your mother takes away the baby and you need to go to the mental shack because you need help. To the biggest pedophile monster, sadistic bastard, chud, dumbbell, what can I say? You're a creep, a child abuser, home wrecker, a piece of trash, and not worth more. Trash is worth more than you. You are not a prophet. You're a liar, a cheater. What you did to the mother of your children, I feel so bad for that woman. I feel so bad for Tammy. I cannot imagine the fear, shock that she had knowing that the person she loved most was betraying her like this for money. Most likely you blocked Charles' messages so Tammy wouldn't see. But I guess what the truth always comes out. You know what? No wonder Tylee. You know what? No wonder Tylee hated you. What did you do to that child as well as JJ? A 7-year-old, really? A grown man attacking a child, really? Allegedly. I have to say that sadly, what kind of sick bastard does that? You are scared of you were scared of Charles, so you attacked the children pathetically. There were so many things, but I guess that you will see your victims every night. I hope you've gotten used to your surrounding because that's going to be your life. Every night you're going to see Tammy, Charles, Tylee, and JJ, and God knows who else. And you will see them every night until you're out of your mind. Honestly, from what I hear, general population doesn't like child killers. So, yeah, most likely you're going to be somebody's boy toy. Looks like you will have a third wife, this one with no wedding in Hawaii. But I hear that maximum security prison has a lovely courtyard for your wedding. By the way, you can betray and kill your bride. He will get very angry. Most likely the bullet that shot Tylee allegedly will go through you by way. She was not a raccoon. She was a human child. You sick bastard monster. But yes, seriously, because now I hear Idaho does the firing squad. Personally, I believe that general population will do a really good job. I also understand that people want a firing squad. Oh, Chud, was it worth it? I know supposedly you're a prophet. Yeah, sure, cute. Yeah, no. I know why you wouldn't have gone after Kobe because he would have beat you up. Honestly, I hope he has that privilege. I really do. By the way, you should learn how to use a lawnmower or work instead. Instead of stealing money in this way. Lastly, your lovely wife, Lore Whore. You know, honestly, you deserve an award. Absolutely the worst mother of the year. Was it worth it? It seriously was worth it. Honestly, you gave up everything for Chad. By the way, at the end of you guys would betray each other. I'm going to finish reading this one. And so, let's see. Lost my place. You got up. I don't want to miss any of this, so I'm going to go back. Honestly, you gave up everything for Chad. By the way, at the end of it, you guys betray each other. You got upset. The one thing your lawyer was right about, I do agree. Charles was more attractive than Chad Daybell, and that the part, oh, brother, you got up. Well, seriously, Tammy was too good for him. You know, as a woman, we should stick together. But no, you took away so much from that woman. You could have helped her. You didn't. By the way, did you know that neither of his kids or in-laws were in the light or dark scale? Well, at least they weren't in the dark side. I noticed how much you really hated your daughter. You could have still manipulated JJ, of course. His percentages was very high. His percent was very different compared to Tylee, as well as your daughter-in-law. What a coincidence, since you hate her too. Kobe and your 2 stepsons. I'm glad that they are okay because they are some of the biggest victims right there. But at least Charles' sons have a great mother. Kobe has nothing. You took away his father, who is Charles, and took away Tylee and JJ. Kobe is the oldest. The fact that he feels more guilt than you does disgust me because it's not his fault. even your own family members, your uncle who is right, this was enough of your bullshit. Adam, your brother, this is how much longer is this? Okay, now. Adam, your brother, also said, this is enough and you're crazy. I'm seeing if people still staying in here. Your sister, Summer, I can tell she is an aunt of these babies. She looks more like their mother. She defended you and then cut her off and threw those babies like garbage. I feel for her. That must have been tough. How you were okay with the reputation trashed. Your family trusted you. Some members are starting to wake up. You could have stopped so many things, including saving Tammy, Charles, making your daughters lie seriously, and lying to your son. Are you kidding me? You put Tylee in so much stress, so many questions going in my mind. Was she trying to escape with her little brother? Did you have their phones because you were controlling JJ's tablet? So that means most likely you were controlling Tylee's phone. You realize your husband could have done to her allegedly. You know what happened. But what happened to Tylee? The fact that all of your murders were cruel, allegedly. But your children were far beyond brutal, especially your daughters. They were not ATM machines. They were children. Why didn't you give the custody to Charles? You should have gave Tylee and JJ to Charles, trying to poison their relationships. Really? Even though I know some of the details of the relations between Joe and Kobe, still, we all know why allegedly you wanted to kill him. Not because of what happened, but because you wanted access to his money. Seriously. I actually do really feel bad for Joe. He had no idea what was going to happen. He is the starting piece of this entire ordeal. For how long? I don't know. Was it worth it? Why was it really worth it? Your children loved you. They trusted you. You were their entire world. JJ still trusted you, but this time saw through you. You took away so much from Charles' 3 older kids, especially with Colby. You took away his family. If it wasn't for his wife and children, oh my God, I don't even want to think. The fact that he feels more guilty in the part sickens me because he's your victim. Sadly, there wasn't a charge for what you did to him. I hope the judges sentence you for the rest of your life and that you see all your victims every day and night. Don't worry. I hear prison has a beauty pageant. I'm sure you're going to excel there. I can't wait and to read about your profile. In this corner, we have Lori Daybell from God knows where for killing her children and allegedly and her husband. That's a wonderful title. I'm being sarcastic. Oh, don't worry. You will make a wonderful bride for your new husband who will wish she was a perfect daughter or there was nothing wrong with her. JJ, there's nothing wrong with you. You took away your granddaughter's aunt, uncle, grandfather from the fact that your daughter couldn't go to her own brother's wedding, taking away special moments from her. Just wow. The only thing that gives me comfort is that at least Charles and JJ were there, but you stole so many moments from them. So you stole so much. Charles was trying to save the kids. There is no doubt in my mind he was not going to leave JJ or Tylee behind. It was going to be a cold, hard day in hell before you guys would have touched a single hair of the children. That's why allegedly you got rid of him. I know deep down that Tylee knew she was no longer safe. She did everything she could to save her little brother and to save herself. I don't doubt that JJ and Tylee's strength to keep going. I applauded the two little warriors. That's why they should have been warriors. Tylee showed more of a mother instinct than you ever did. She was a baby herself. She had no one at this point. At least JJ and her had each other. At least JJ was Tylee's strength. This is so unfair because anyone who tried to help looks what you did to them. How can you do this to two beautiful children? To a beautiful person like Tammy and Charles who loved you and cared for you. He's trying and was trying to help you. To Joe, though, I know the things. Hang on, y'all. He still does not deserve what happened. And by the way, Lori, you took away something right to the court day. You killed him because his money allegedly, but one day the truth will come out and hopefully we can stop saying allegedly. And Tammy, I'm so sorry. You were too good for Chad. You were a beautiful person and didn't deserve this. You're a real mother, a wonderful grandmother. I hope your children will see what's really going on. They are going to need a lot of help. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You didn't deserve this. To Charles, you are an amazing person and you didn't do anything wrong. You were right, sadly. You were right. Yes, she was going to take them. And yes, this is what she was going to do with them. Police failed you guys. I know you wouldn't have left either of them the comfort that I have. Whew. I'm still reading, y'all. Hang on. I know you wouldn't have left either of them. Then the comfort, at least your kids are with you. Please protect them from wherever you are. Your other three kids and your family members. JJ, sweet JJ, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, for what they did to you. You were so brave and a great little brother. I don't doubt the fantastic uncle, a great son, a grandson. Oh, I've gotten lost here. Sorry. I don't doubt a fantastic uncle, great son, grandson, a wonderful student, a wonderful friend. I'm so sorry that you don't have the opportunity to see how much people loved you and your sister and dad. You, Kobe, I know from the photos, I can tell how much you loved him and always take care of your niece, Sweetie. To Tylee, I'm sorry, honey. I don't doubt any of the anger betrayal that you felt. There was not one single adult that said this was wrong, and no one tried to save you. Oh, sweetheart, I'm sorry your family should have been incredibly proud of you and your little brother because they gave one hell of a fight. And I'm so sorry that y'all had to go through this. Please always look after your older brothers, especially Kobe. Oh, Kobe, it's not your fault, neither you or your brothers. There are no faults, none. Don't let this woman ruin your beautiful things in life. You have to keep going. I know it's tough. Please, with time, realize that it isn't your fault. Thank you, Ms. Krisha, for allowing us to do our impact statement. Even though we don't know them, this case has really taken us surprise, and I'm so sorry for what has happened to you and your parents. Your parents are amazing grandparents. They are amazing people. I'm glad at least Tylee and JJ had them as their voice as well as you. They're amazing people. I'm so glad. I don't doubt that they are proud of everything you guys have done for them. It isn't fair. You've lost a grandson and a granddaughter, brother-in-law, and an innocent woman, Tammy. Justice for all the survivors as well. All of you guys are survivors. As for Brandon and his kids, need law to take place God bless you. Okay. Now then,
I'm in here.
okay.
You did so good.
That's nice. The sound is good.
Wait, I'm making your mic. I'm making your sound go away. Hope not. It cut out. No, you sounded great. I think a lot of us felt the same way, as Miss A. Aguilar. And she says, thank you for reading. Mrs. Donna is echoing. Ruh-roh. Here we go. But it's only when I came on. I'm trying to read Old Lady Snoop's comment there. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. That's the lyrics. Okay, I was like, what? Buddy, you're a boy. Make a big noise playing in the streets. Gonna be a big man someday. Tag. We will rock you. Right? Thank you, Donna. I know there's more to read, but I figured I'd let her have a break after that one. I sound ridiculous after I read. I get choppy. So I don't know how I feel. I don't feel right now. I am disconnected. I missed my live stream yesterday because I was tired, I guess, and I fell asleep and I didn't wake up. I fell asleep right at 4:00 p.m. and I didn't wake up until like 10 o'clock last night, and I was like, okay. So I slept some more. I slept till, hell, I think it was 3 o'clock this evening. Jason said that the live stream was for today, and I was like, oh. But thankfully, Miss Donna went and rescheduled it for today, because no matter what, you guys feel a certain way and want to get it out there. It's to help us release the feelings. Whenever they told me, or they didn't tell me directly, but whenever the court said that basically, I'm not relevant enough, I'm not worthy enough to read the victim impact statement that is caused on me. That hurt. It hurts. It still hurts. I hope there's sound. My little thing's going off. Should be sound. Better be sound. Okay. I guess. Let me know if there's no sound. It's hard to go back. Yeah, she did a terrific job. She's in the chat now. Okay, you can hear me. Okay. So, I just right before we went live tonight, I told the girls, the God Mod Squad, I was like, I really don't even know what to talk about. There's a lot to talk about, but I just get so bamboozled. I'm going to use one of my Uncle Charles's words. It's overwhelming. I don't know how to feel right now. It just sucks. Yeah, that's my fan. It's hot in here. Hot. I'll go turn it off. It's gonna get even hotter. Let me go shut it off real quick. It's hard. I know, I don't like extra noise myself. But I don't like sweating either. So, it's just been hot lately. We don't have a lot of storms. Yeah, that'll never go away, right? But do let me know if my sound is okay as far as my microphone. I'm trying to get it right instead of sounding like I'm yelling in it. Enough, Mom. She says, okay, I'm in Wyoming under a blanket tonight. Well, send it this way. I like having the option, you know, to have one leg out and one leg in, or both legs in, you know. Okay, good. Thank you. Christina Spencer says, I've been thinking about that. Your mom doesn't have a time limit, so combine your victim impact with hers. Unfortunately, Mom will have to speak a long ass time, but so be it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll turn it back on. If it gets too unbearable in here. It's hot. We've been trying to remedy this issue for about a week or 2 weeks. We bought a new window unit even, but it's too loud to turn on during the stream. So I don't know. Last week it was like 86 degrees in here, inside the house, you know, and I was like, oh my God, it's hot. You don't want to do anything. You're lethargic, you know. But anyway, so, right? Beach Bum is so right. Do not let anyone tell you your worth, or that you do not matter, or tell you that you have no voice. Find a creative way. Like this, if only to write it and then shred it or burn it. I've visited that burn barrel of mine a many a nights, you know, breaking down boxes and just, I don't know, taking out aggression on that, on how I feel. Thank you, JLL. Thank you so much. And your ideas are beautiful. If only, you know, I don't know, because I'm not going to go now. I looked at her plenty enough during the trial. If, you know, I don't want to go if I'm not able to share my voice or share how it's impacted me. So it's just stupid. It's stupid. And nobody even, I didn't ask. I don't think anybody else asked if, you know, I'm basically, what I'm trying to say is that nobody asked, as far as I know, who was a victim and who was not a victim. You know what I mean? So obviously it went up for debate, or the court just felt it was, you know, their way of addressing the situation in its entirety and controlling it by saying who is a victim and who is not. Technically. It's all technically. It's technicalities. And that is the Mormon religion. Welcome. That's what the religion does. Whether Judge Boyce is a practicing Mormon or not, which they say, allegedly, he's not a practicing Mormon for 20 some odd years. However, he is still in a Mormon, a high concentration of Mormon, active Mormons. And its influence can be felt. Trust me. So, if, you know, by extension, the church is afraid of what might be said, that's on them, and they're okay with it. Okay? The church would love nothing more than to shut people up. And that's what I've come to learn about the Mormon religion. there is no Christ in it, in my opinion. I have no idea, Rachel Carter. I have no idea. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's just, in my opinion, just. Oh yeah, I like Janet's idea. I've taken a bat to a tree many a times. If you take this is good advice, I think. When I was in high school, we went to this voluntary class or whatever, and you could skip like whatever hour they held it in. So I loved English, but you wouldn't know that. But I was, good in it, so I'd skip that class and go to this meeting, and it was by our church. I'm sorry, not our church, our school therapist or whatever you call them, counselor. And so it was just a group of kids, and so that's where I learned this technique, and it was to take a metal bat, take the, whatever you call it, the wrapping, where the handle is, the grip. You take that off, and so the bat is fully exposed. It's all metal. You go hit a tree, and let me tell you, it shocks you back into your body. Maybe I need to do that. I've bent a bat, actually, at the beginning of this, when just my uncle was murdered. Just my uncle was murdered. Isn't that something to say? Just when they had only murdered my uncle. That's horrible. They hadn't yet, murdered my technically my step cousin, but I looked at her as she's the same age as my kids, Tylee, and then murdered my my only nephew, who was adopted. Well, I need to try it, KDH, because I do believe I am disassociated at the moment. Sorry, I was stretching. Yeah, you can injure yourself right back into your body. No. Yeah, you can be injured, while you sleep or anything. So, yes, please take T.S. Jackson 72's advice and be careful. You could injure yourself. Carrie says, if you do come to her sentencing, I will be there to sit with you and hang out with you afterwards. I believe it lands on my day off of work. Is it a Tuesday? Is it on a Tuesday? I forgot to go look. Let me see if my calendar will pull it up. Whoa, God, I'm making it think. It's like, rrr. Let's see. Let me go to it. Allegedly. It keeps making a noise every time I click it. I don't know what day it falls on. And so without making... Oh, there we go. I was like, oh, God. So July 31st is on a Monday. Damn. I wanted it to be on a Tuesday because everything, they did everything around green and Tuesdays, and where I learned see you next Tuesday from? The CUNT thing. I learned that from the detectives. They taught me something. And I was like, oh, how come I've never heard that before? Damn it. So, anyways, I had, I still can't find Mommy and the Zombie Killers, but it is what it is. So, I did pull up a couple of videos that I have in my Google Photos. I guess it doesn't matter if I do this. Let's see, present, share screen. And it doesn't tell me what order, but this was a video I had made a long time ago. They're just a little short, an hour, a minute and 8 seconds. Okay, there's that one. And I know this sounds terrible, but let's see. Let me go. I pulled up quite a few. Oh, I gotta share my screen again. I didn't mean to do that. Let's see. Okay. And this is just the one of Tylee sitting in that room. You know, you're wondering what's going through her mind. What is she's, I know for sure you can hear her mom through the walls, through the wall. And it looked like she smiled at the bear just now, like, okay. You know, it just is terrible that she was put in this predicament. First of all, she was not a zombie. And if that's being a zombie, then I was a zombie too. And every other girl who's ever been born has been a zombie in these years. You know? They outgrew their mom. Totally. The way that Lori has shown up in court with her hair all looking like a damn, you know, Maltese. I wouldn't even do that to the dog, but you know what I'm saying. It looks like that's when she stopped growing mentally. Is at that age. Which is probably why she came off as more of a boyfriend than a mother to her son. You know? It just seems like that's when she stopped growing emotionally as a teenager. You know? It's terrible. But yet Janice and Summer and everybody was like, oh no, she was fine. You know? No, what you call it? Extreme beliefs here. Nothing to see here. Nothing. She's fine. She's in line with the Mormon Church. Because Barry and Janice went to those preparing people, whatever things also. You know? Let me go to this one, I think. Or not. Let's see. Okay, share this one instead. Let me turn it up. Wherever that is. This is from my daughter Ashlyn. This is...
Hey! No ball! No catching and no toys! And no! No catching and no! No catching!
I think it's funny because I was the same way as a kid. I was like a little bully. And I know that's not, you know what I mean. I was very territorial. And I was like, no, don't come past this line. Well, JJ seemed to be a lot like that too. You know, he even wrote a note and put it on underneath the light switch in the kitchen at what I call the hurricane house. And he put, this is my kitchen. They were like rules, okay? And it was cute. No, I'd stopped by my parents' house on the way in, and I saw that, you know, there were big fans and stuff inside that house to try and dry it out after the hurricane, and it was flapping on the wall like it was going to fly off. So I grabbed some more tape and I taped it even more to that wall, you know, to secure it. And you know, this is from Ashlyn. He's fussing with Ranger. This was my daughter's dog, Ranger. He's like my brother.
No ball! No catching and no toys! And no! No No touching and no. No touching. No.
I just think it's cute. Okay, let's see. Okay, this was whenever JJ was fishing at my Uncle Bobby's. And he looks like my brother here. Big time. My brother used to want to be a game warden. This is at my Uncle Bobby's, and Uncle Charles was there too.
Another fish. Little baby bat. Well, let's see. Look at that. Hey, JJ, hold your fish. Here, hold up here. There. Okay. There you go. Hold him up. There you go. Proud fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn him sideways so we can
That's
see.
your second fish, JJ.
All
Look
right.
how big that bugger
That was
is.
his third fish.
Oh, third fish, sorry.
Yes, sir. All right. Got another.
Isn't that sweet? You know? It just he reminds me so much of my brother right there. Okay. Trying to get to, I guess I can share this with you. I mean, it's just in my Google photos. That's my daughter, Ashlyn, and Bailey, JJ's service dog. Let's see. I mean, but Bailey was not cute. I mean, look, he looks like his head is way too big. I'm so glad that he got rehomed. I wish that we could, okay. I kind of wanted to cry. I wish that we could meet the kid. But then I understand why we wouldn't, why it wouldn't be a good idea. I'm glad that he's rehomed and they didn't murder the dog. There's JJ and Bailey. Ashlyn and Bailey. Silly kids. Oh, let me see if this is okay to play, because I might have music on it or something. Let me press mute for a second. I gotta see if this next one is okay to share. Well, it's not really moving, so let me, this was the day we interred my uncle's ashes. So this was February of 2021. I just kind of walked behind them. My uncle's carrying his ashes. And I've used some of these shots in some of my videos before. We held this private, Okay. Okay. Sorry. I don't know why, or will it move? Okay. He can tell we don't dress for the winter. There's my uncle's ashes right there. It was very windy that day. It's just sad. My Aunt Terry was on Zoom because she was too sick, or my uncle was too sick to come. And this right here is Allison. Oh, well, that was Allison. And she was my uncle's kind of like a high school sweetheart. There she is. And her and I talk a lot. She's usually on here, on this channel a lot. I love her to death. She's so, she was super close to my uncle. She had actually just moved by him. Didn't even know it yet. She had moved by him and did not know until after he was murdered. Then she found out. And then, that's nothing. Let me turn. Okay. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. Okay. And that was, you know, Ashlyn videoing Pawpaw massaging JJ's back before bed. As you can see, he's got his pull-up on, just like he was found, in his pajamas. Anyways, this was
His name.
this was our last night with, or our last New Year's with JJ and Uncle Charles. Uncle Charles was out by the bonfire. You can see my Riesling wine right here. Okay. And we're just in the shop of my uncle, who's a plumber, my Uncle Bobby. Oh, okay. So, was I muted the whole time? I hope not.
Silas
Silas.
and Shantae.
Shantae.
They just call me Tay.
Tay? Do they call you Tay? How old are you?
Do I get to whip you? Like,
You're 6?
We're 3 years apart.
Well, Maddie's 5, you know.
Alright.
And,
Or Ash, come here.
and JJ is 6.
I'll pick a chicken
No,
nugget.
Ash. Then you.
JJ's a big chicken nugget. Because you are what you
Man, I'm
eat.
short, but I make some big kids.
She's a big chicken about
He's a big kid.
Kids with big bones. Hey, look, this is
No, Leland.
Where's your Polaroid?
Where you going?
His name.
So that was it was December 31st, 2018, rolling into 2019. This is whenever Lori and Zalima and the rest of, you know, Chad, everybody was praying for JJ and Uncle Charles to get into a wreck. The exact date. It's weird how I find some things and I'm like, oh my God, you know? Let's see. Okay, so I shared all those. I got, oh, this is, looks like screenshots, but it's whenever he was like, hey Mama, hey Pawpaw. You know, when he was at school, they picked him up from school, they surprised him. As you can see, there's a lot of blur because the kid moved a lot. That's what he did. He moved a lot. Lori, back here. But hopefully that video is on here. Might have to go through a bazillion screenshots. Oh, that's Ashlyn and JJ. That's the week that my mom was in Texas, or I'm sorry, Arizona, helping my uncle move from Arizona to Texas. And that's just me trying to get some screenshots of him. More still. Okay. Let me see, let me go back to this. See if I can just save us some time here. But like right there, that's him and Pawpaw hugging. Look how happy he was. Cheesy. Shy baby, you know. He was so excited. Because Mama and Pawpaw showed up at his school. Surprised him. He's so handsome in this picture. He looks a little devious, you know, like a shit-eating grin. I don't know how else to say that. Just screenshots from the case. That's whenever he, Ashland said, say hi, Aunt Crescia, and he said, hi, Crescia. He never would say Aunt. Oh, it's gonna play, I guess.
Say hi, Aunt Crescia. Hi, Crescia. Hey, Cole. Say hi, Aunt Crescia. Hi, Crescia. Hey, Cole. Say hi, Aunt Crescia. Hi, Crescia.
Anyways, I just think it's cute. There's the one of him and Ashland sleeping again. Okay, I didn't know it was in here. Okay. Oh, this might just be a picture, but she's got some little short video clips. This one's been all around the world. Say welcome to Coastal Crew Change.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night, the party's over.
You need to go on American Idol.
Johnny as Papa.
But you gotta do the Coastal Crew Change.
Is welcome to Coastal Crew Change. Welcome to the Coastal Crew Change.
Hey, and say, the driver is Papa Larry Woodcock.
The driver is Papa Larry Woodcock.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
And come back.
Come back.
And pay your bill on time.
Yeah.
Pay your bill on time.
So I argued with my mom because she's like, that's me. And I'm like, no, you were not there. You were helping Uncle Charles pack. This whole week we ran amok. You know, we had JJ all to ourselves. Just no mama, no dad. Hopefully I have the other video where he says, I miss you, Mama, I miss you, Dad. But I don't know if it's on here. Because that was me telling him to, look, that's from Mandy's Facebook. Whenever her and Todd would go to Whistle Stop and bond with their baby, Kanan, at the time. And those beautiful babies. Sacrificed. Oh, look at that conundrum right there. That's a whole conundrum. I think that was from Gray Hughes. Yeah. I think that's Natalie Pulowski. And I mean, yeah, that was early on in the case, but I don't know if Donna has anything queued up to read or whatever. If you do, Donna, just cut in. I'm not on the screen, so I can't see what people are saying. Yeah, missing alert. Okay.
I didn't person, but I will want me to.
Oh. Okay. I never know if it's going to play or not, and I'm like, wait. I can. Let me,
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm here.
No, I can't hear.
You can't hear me? I hope you can hear. Can you hear me?
Oh, it's now I've had the rock. I had the headset crazy.
Oh, okay. good night to those that are leaving. Okay, let me go to my. Oh yeah, and also wanted to say that the Pure Vita, like kind of like this necklace. Hold on, let me do this real quick. Let me turn my camera on. Like this Pure Vita, I think is the name of it. That was the same necklace that Tylee had on. If I can get it to stay still. Anyways, it means, well, now I gotta go find it again. It means, if someone says hello or goodbye, you can say Pure Vita back. If someone asks how you are, you can say Pure Vita back, meaning you are doing well. If someone asks you about a restaurant in town, you can say Pure Vita, meaning it's great. It means pure life. And so that's what she was found, or that was found, the charm was found in Chad Daybell's backyard. Let me go back here and fix my screen to where it'll show what I'm sharing. Oh, let me show you this one real quick. It's going to be blurry because my mom would send me videos, and she would send them in a less, it wouldn't take as much data or whatever. So they come in really grainy. So it is what it is.
Here, look at Mama. JJ. Hey! Come on. JJ, look here. JJ, look here. Look at Mama. Look here. Thank you. Look at Mama. Say cheese. Good job. Here. Look at Mama.
Okay, so there was that one. Now I'm looking for my email, but I have like 800 tabs open, so let me close that one. Now this is something that I had written a year ago on the anniversary of Tylee and JJ being unearthed. And I had written it to somebody. It was a text, but I went ahead and sent it to my Speechify, which is an app that reads for you. So, because I hate reading. I do. I hate it. If not, my channel would have a lot more content. But I had uploaded it to Vimeo. Gotta go share my screen again, I think. Share screen. Hopefully it's this one. Now, again, this was in an app, and I mean, this was just me texting somebody, and anyways, it's hard because in order to tell how I feel, I have to share a little bit about what I've been through in life. So here it goes. Oh, I can't believe I'm doing this. But anyways.
Just scheduled the live stream for tomorrow. I just slapped a quick thumbnail and I'm going to go back and replace with a new one. I wasn't sure how I'd feel about doing a live stream on the anniversary of the day that Tylee and JJ were no longer missing. Where are the kids? Man, oh man, we asked that question so many times. I realized when titling the live stream that they always say all darkness comes to light. Tylee and JJ represent this perfectly. I have been wanting to reach out to you and offer my condolences for losing your beautiful aunt. The way I would hear you describe her via the podcast reminded me of my Aunt Ginger. She sounded like she was a pistol. Since the murders, I suck at addressing death. CPTSD. It's really bad. I always thought it was fight or flight. I never knew there was also a freeze. Well, guess what? I am the freeze. It's exactly what the hell I do when I hear news like your aunt's sunsetting. Just know that she adores you, girl. She is right there with you to help guide you through your grief every single step of the way. You'll laugh. You'll cry. You'll blame. You'll be angry. and you'll even feel sorry for yourself. These are all relevant emotions, and we all experience them. But I'm going to share some of the best advice I have ever heard from my friend Jen. It empowered me. Nobody gets to tell you how to grieve. Nobody, and vice versa. Prior to hearing her tell me this, I didn't feel relevant enough to grieve publicly. Since Lori and Chad annihilated my family, I've learned so many things about myself. I realized that I had never been given a voice. As far back as I can remember. My mom is only 17 years older than me. I was definitely not a planned pregnancy. My real dad, Gerald Easton, was 20 and my mom was only 17, both of them being too young to become parents. They tried, but it didn't work out. She met my stepdad, Dennis Ray Tran. I was 18 months old. I was an only child until I was almost 8. I never knew Dennis wasn't my real dad. They never told me this. I was 7.5 years old when my baby brother Todd entered my world, and I remember thinking, wow, my own real live baby doll. I came to believe that God sent my brother just for me, because I was such a lonely child. My mom and dad Dennis were always there, but they were never present. There's a huge difference between the two. I knew that God sent Todd so that I wouldn't be alone anymore. And just as Tylee was with JJ, I am with my brother. My mom and dad, Dennis, separated when I was 11 years old. They woke me up for school that morning and asked me to go and talk to them in their room. And so I did. My parents told me they were separating and sent me to school. Can you fucking imagine? I was only 11. Lo and behold, I get home from school and they had my mama's ugly-ass navy blue Chevy Caprice station wagon loaded down, and me, my mom, and my baby brother Todd left. We lived with a nice couple who had a son my exact age, born a day apart. He got on my damn nerves. Besides the point, so we lived in these people's house. They were my mom's coworkers, but strangers to me. We then moved into a shoddy apartment complex that was right next door to the projects. Mom and dad then embroiled in a nasty custody battle over my brother. Sometimes we'd wake up to go to school and mom to work, and I would have to take a taxi because dad taken a sledgehammer to the stabbing wagon or had flattened the tires. But my mom wasn't perfect either. I do remember when Todd was 3, our dad kidnapped him. I don't really remember the details, but it was tragic for sure. This went on for many years. My mom eventually remarried when I was 14 years old, and I couldn't stand my stepdad, Roby, aka Robert. When I was about 17 or 18 years old, he suffered a traumatic head injury when he and a guy got into it at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Vegas. The man stomped my stepdad's head 5 times before security showed up. That was the same weekend that Princess Diana died. Because of his brain injury, Roby became more childlike. The equivalent of an 8-year-old boy. But I was glad he survived such an assault. I married at the age of 20 to my high school sweetheart because at that time, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. Roby kept telling me that I was going to have a boy, and I argued with him, even showing him the ultrasound VHS tape, revealing that it was a girl. Roby was also an epileptic. Long before the assault. But he and Mom adopted a dog to keep Roby company while Mom was at work. I was so pregnant, my nose was literally in my line of vision. It drove me insane. Roby called Mom while she was at work to tell her that he was going to bathe their dog. He told Mom that he had been debating on whether or not he was going to do it. She told him to wait until she got home. He didn't. Trigger warning. He knelt at the bathtub as anyone would while bathing their dog. Roby knew better than to plug the drain because he had epilepsy his entire life. But it didn't help. He apparently suffered a seizure, causing him to drown in a small amount of water that had accumulated at the bottom of their bathtub. Mom called me at my office, where I worked for my uncle Bobby Vallow. She was in such a panic that it then caused me to panic, and well, I fell out of my office chair onto the floor. At that time, I was 36 weeks along in my pregnancy and I really had a hard landing, but I hauled my whiling pregnant ass straight to their house, which was a couple minutes from my job. I got there and noticed Mom beat me there and she worked at least 10 minutes further away. I saw my husband at the time, Randy, outside, and the EMT were there. Mom and I stood in the living room, which felt like an eternity. And then, the EMT approached us in the living room. No words were exchanged, but we knew. My mama and I clutched one another and her cry was the loudest thing I had ever heard before. Similar to her cry in their documentary when they went to Lori's old apartment and talked with the neighbors. Roby was dead. Mom was devastated. Fast forward to December 31st, 1999. I was in labor and worried the refineries were going to blow up because it was that whole Y2K bug thingy. January 1st, 2000, at 12:10 p.m., enters my beautiful baby boy, Zachary Ryan McFarlane. That's right. A boy. Not a girl. Roby was right. Mom and I both feel Roby changed the gender of my baby, so he'd be right. I wouldn't leave my mom's side for 5 months from the time Roby died back in mid-November until Larry James Woodcock walked into our lives. Finally, I felt like Mom was in good hands. Fast forward to today. I did finally meet my real dad when I was 14, but we got to know one another when I was 28. He's awesome. We now know that Dennis and Mom did that parental alienation thingy that I despise so much. They kept me from Gerald, my real dad. But we never held that against either one, Mom and Dennis. I loved Dennis. I thought he was my dad. I loved Roby, even if he was an arrogant asshole. I love my real dad, Gerald. He's such a cool, laid-back guy who's quite philosophical and exhibits a great balance of compassion and integrity. I feel that I am a lot like my dad. I love Larry to pieces. He is an absolute godsend in my opinion. He is good to my mom as well as my brother and me. He's great to my children, and well, as many of you all know, just how much Larry loved his little man JJ, aka Cannon Todd Trahan. As I reflect upon my life now, I reflect on all of the tragedies and losses I have felt. I'm now able to recognize all of the unhealthy parenting patterns of my mom. I now understand the impacts of experiencing so many tragic losses. I now know that my mom was always there for me, but never has she been here with me. I now look back and I know God sent my brother just for me and me for him. I have been able to free myself after all these years because I know without a doubt that nothing was ever wrong with me. I have been told this my entire life. My brother has also. I know that because my mom never equipped me with the proper tools needed to succeed in life, to feel worthy of love and worthy of loving others, to have confidence in myself and to finally believe in myself. I am now 44, and through all of this horrifying and tragic shit, I can now say with utmost respect and confidence that I have finally found my own voice. It never was lost. It was only silenced and ignored. But it was never lost. I've also learned through their murders that my Uncle Charles was right. Love always wins. At the end of the day, at the end of my life, love is all that matters.
Oh my god, I'm trying to hold my shit together. I can't believe yeah. I've written many things, many times, in many places. In order to tell my story, it, doesn't paint my mom in a beautiful light, and it's just such a difficult thing to decide. But truly, the most empowering thing I learned in this was when Jen told me that nobody gets to tell me how to grieve. And it's true, This has been horrifying. It's been just so painful to live out in a public setting. And then just to be shut down by the judge completely. It's a slap in the face. Yet again, It's not right. It's not right at all. Sorry, I'm still trying to get my my bearings. Because that was just from a text message that I'd sent to somebody. And that's usually when it happens. The other day I was going to reply to a comment on a video. And anyways, and so I started to write a reply to the comment, and out of nowhere, I start just writing, whatever I'm feeling, and so then I usually copy and paste it, and my impact statement is more aimed, and it's probably a good thing that the judge did this, because it would expose the church for what I think it is. And how, and just how much it does play a role in their murders. Sorry. So I started to, comment back. And I put, I'm just going to share this tab instead, but, let me see if I didn't jangle it up too much. This is what I've learned from this experience and my research. Like-minded behaviors. The end. When you said it's a myth, I'm so sorry. Let me clear my throat. I'm going to try that again. When you said it's a myth and how the state has defined its own definition of what constitutes a victim and or a family member really resonates with me. I'm sure I've thought about it before, but I don't know. It just hit me as I read your comment. You're so right. It's never been about honoring anyone affected by those murderers who robbed not only 3 members of my own family, but also Tammy and Joe. I just want to do right by them, and hold on. I just want to do right by them all. And even though Tammy and Joe were strangers to me, I love and honor them all in the same. Love has no boundaries, and grief is the same in this regard, in my opinion. If I'm just being honest, this is where it starts getting, I might have to cut some stuff. If I'm just being honest right now, I totally feel like my presence was not wanted by some of the prosecutors, the judge, the bailiffs, including Nate Eaton. I was shocked by how he would avoid eye contact and how he totally ignored and avoided any interaction whatsoever with me. I would watch his daily live streams while at the trial, and he would never mention my name. I met him in January of 2021. We sat down in one of the interview rooms and just shot the shit. Cool, like the other side of the pillow, But there's always a but. That was before I had gotten into the quote-unquote deeper Mormon doctrines. It was before I learned about the second anointing, the secret temple sealings. Yes, especially between 2 temple-worthy, active members of the church. Obedient little disciples who were married to their respective spouses back in November of who were married, I wrote it wrong, but who were already married to their respective spouses back in November of 2018. And Charles and Tammy were both active, tithe-paying, temple-worthy, and both sealed to their respective spouses, which is recognized, allegedly, by this church. Oh my God, I could spit nails right about now. In my opinion, we would not be here today if that church would have never sealed these 2 a-holes to one another in the first place. They would have never met, never cheated on their spouses, well, at least not with one another. Chad and Lori, lore whore, would have never came to be anything. This is, in my opinion, how they, quote, still practice, unquote, polygamy. It's all a lie. That church is a joke and blasphemous AF. The church leaders are liars, and they not only deceive their own members, but they are also deceiving everyone outside of their church, from neighbors to the United States to the entire world. Members are taught to believe that their leaders are the only mouthpiece to deliver the word of God to them. They're taught to believe that they are infallible, who believe that those men are honorable, just men, who are taught to believe are the actual mouthpiece for God, evil. Oh, see, this is, yeah, so that's the end of it. So I didn't finish that, and that's when I fell asleep. So that's where mine, that was the first time I had felt inspired. in any of this. And I was just like, yeah, maybe it's a good thing, because mine's not so much aimed at Chad and Lori. It's aimed at everybody, the whole thing as I see it, you know. Excuse me. I did that wrong. Mine includes the church, because the church is what made this, and what continues to make this, and what's going to make this again, because they're never called out. They are never, they never have to be held accountable, just like Lori never was held accountable for anything else that she's done. Okay? It's the same thing. Different day, different, just insert new people, you know? It's interchangeable, because there will be another Chad and Lori Daybell, because we're not, I mean, in order to fix it, the church would have to be held accountable, in my opinion, allegedly, for its role that it played in the murders of Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. And that's how I feel about that. Now, whether that means that they retaliate, we'll see. You know? It's just bad. It's not at all what it presents itself to be. It's a wolf in sheep's clothing, in my opinion. And it preys on its sheep. So, if anybody wants to know who the leader is, keep looking up. Not God, but look up in the hierarchy of the church, in my opinion. Again, we'll see. The retaliation, you know. It's whether it's to suppress the video, you know, because it does that. Whether it's to leave another Jesus card, you know, hoping all is well. Driving an hour and 15 minutes just to come drop a card off with my name on it. Inside of my living room. Inside of my house. We'll see. I don't know who has any. I only have a couple left, like 6. I brought them with me to the trial, and I'd have to see if Mom has any. I'd order some. They cost a lot of money. They really do. I think I'd gotten like, I'm going to say 1,000 of them. I don't remember how much they costed exactly. I have the receipt somewhere, but I was like, holy moly. But I had put on the outside, well, not this one, but I did the one with the orange with all 3 names, and then hopefully it costs money per letter. And I put Love Always Wins on the inside of it, just in case. That way you could turn it around and it would say Love Always Wins instead of, that way it wouldn't say justice for, that way you could wear it in the courtroom, basically, you know. Because it's never about the victims, it seems. Maybe it is, and maybe I'm just too blind to see. Who knows? So, excuse me. And I took medicine, both kinds, sinus and allergy. But it doesn't seem to have helped. So I'm in my, right now I'm in my, let's see, Gmail. And I'm going to read one from Janet. And she says, "Hey Kresha, I was half asleep the other night during your live back-to-back meeting Monday. But I heard you say something about sharing victim impact statements on this coming Friday, 6/9. Here's something for you. It is written from my perspective, but if you wanted to steal some phrases for your real victim impact statement and put them in first person, I would be honored. I'd feel as if I were really there with you." That's sweet. Let me try and clear my throat again. Hopefully it actually mutes when I do it. I've done that a few times and it did mute, and I was like, oh my god. Okay, so, and I don't like being on here, so I'm gonna do that too. Okay, I gotta find it again. Here. Nope. Here. Nope. Here. Allegedly? Maybe. Yeah. I bet Tylee will be there whispering in your ear, and JJ by your side holding your hand. Best, Janet. P.S. I'm attaching photos of our beautiful beaches here in Naples, Florida. My happy place is breathing the Gulf air while walking in the surf, collecting seashells. I hope these photos make you smile as they do for me. All right, victim impact statement. Lori Vallow's sentencing hearing. Janet writes, I write this victim impact statement with a heavy heart, burdened by the immense pain and sorrow caused by these actions of Lori Vallow. The impacts of her crimes has forever altered the course of many lives. The family members of those she murdered are left with an unfathomable void that can never be filled. Let me take a sip. The loss endured goes beyond the physical absence of their loved ones. It encompasses the shattered dreams, the stolen moments, and the stolen futures. Lori Vallow's actions have left a permanent scar on their souls, a constant reminder of the profound grief they now carry. Words cannot adequately express the anguish they have endured since learning of the disappearance and vicious evil murders of JJ and Tylee and Tammy. They were vibrant, cherished individuals who brought love, joy, and laughter into the lives of those who loved them. The void left by their absence is immeasurable, and family is left grappling with the pain of losing them in such unimaginable circumstances. The impact of Lori Vallow's crimes extends beyond the immediate family. They have rippled through our entire community, even across the country, casting a shadow of anger and heartache. The loss of innocence, trust, and faith in humanity is a weight we all bear, forever scarred by the darkness that unfolded at her hands and the hands of all her co-conspirators. Those of us who have come to know JJ, Tylee, and Tammy, and Charles and Joe, through their family members, videos, photos, and stories, weep for them. They all suffered desperately, as do their family and friends. We seek justice not out of vengeance, but as means of finding solace and a semblance of closure. We implore you, Your Honor, to consider the gravity of Lori Vallow's actions and the irreparable damage they have caused. The sentencing decision you make will send a powerful message to others who may contemplate similar acts of cruelty, and will determine the degree of accountability for the pain inflicted upon countless lives. While JJ's, Tylee's, and Tammy's families will never fully heal from this horrific tragedy, they vow to honor the memory of their loved ones by cherishing the moments they had with them and striving to create a world that is filled with love, compassion, and empathy. They refuse to let darkness overshadow the light JJ, Tylee, and Tammy brought into their lives. In closing, Your Honor, we humbly request that you deliver a sentence that reflects the magnitude of Lori Vallow's crimes and provide some measure of justice for the lives lost. May their spirits find peace, and may we, the survivors, find strength to carry on in their absence. Love always wins. Thank you for your time and consideration. And then she left. I'm going to just, hopefully it won't show. Let's see. Well, I'll have to share them on the community wall. Thank you, Janet. That really, wow. I was starting to cry there. I had to gather myself. It's when I read your words, when I read them out loud, it seems like it makes its own impact, on me. And I appreciate it big time. Thank you. So this is from Jagaz's mom. And she says, Hi, Krisha. This is Jagaz's mom. She tells me her real name. I've been thinking of writing this for a while. When you told us a while back about how you spiritually saw JJ and he said his mom hurt him. Oh yeah, I remember that. I knew I had to write. I sometimes have dreams that are with real people in heaven. Usually that give messages of some kind. Now, if you're not interested in what I dreamed, or you feel like you can't handle it, you can just close the email and I won't be upset. I'm okay with it. Trust me. I'm about to have to go get another Dr. Pepper. She says, you know what you can handle better than I can. If you close the email here, then let me say thank you for letting me be a part of your community. Anytime, Jake-A's mom, anytime. You're welcome here. And so she says, I pray for you and your family often and ask God to bless you each day. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that, and they will too. They do too. And so she says, ever since I learned the children were found, I wondered how they were doing in the afterlife. Though I hadn't asked to see her, I had a dream with Tylee. Excuse me. She showed me the area where she was spending time. I remember a small room. There was a desk and a chair. On the desk were little crafted figures of people. She said she had been working on them. I got the feeling, though, it wasn't said in words. Oh my God, I got chills all over my body right now. Hold on. All over my face and my arms. Okay. I got the feeling, though it wasn't said in words, that this was part of her healing. She worked on carving or sculpting them and thought of her emotions and let them out. I asked where JJ was, and she said, quote, he's in a place of healing, unquote. She looked at me somewhat warily, but also with pleading eyes. Then she asked me to do something for her. It was unexpected. She asked me to pray for her mom. Oh my God. She said no one is praying for her. And there it was. She had worked through what happened enough so that she could actually want me to pray for her mom's soul. In that place of love and healing, her heart mended enough to forgive her mom and want her to eventually be in heaven too. I was surprised but agreed. I don't think I would be praying for Lori if not for Tylee herself asking me. I don't remember the rest of that dream or any of the next one, though I know there was one with Tylee after that. I'd been thinking of JJ's little soul. I knew he was in a place of healing, but as a mom of two adult autistic kids, I worried and felt a little protective of him. I normally don't ask for specific dreams, but the idea of him suffering as he worked through the trauma haunted me. I don't know how it works in heaven, so I did finally ask God to let me see JJ so I would know he's okay. Some days later, I did see him. He was standing next to a man. Oh my God. A man who had his hand on JJ's shoulder. It was Charles. Charles was smiling at me. He looked happy, genuinely joyful. It radiated from him. JJ, on the other hand, was not smiling, but looked at me warily. I realized since I was a perfect stranger to him, he had no reason to smile at me, or smile at or talk with me. I took a good look at him to see how he was. I couldn't see much from his expression. I looked at Charles and back at JJ. I think I did this several times. Then it dawned on me that Charles was there to show me JJ was truly doing okay. Charles was there with him, helping him, loving him. He was not alone in his healing journey. I could have spoken, but I didn't. All I needed to see was right there. And so, when you told us about how you saw JJ and he was crying, that his mom hurt him, I knew I should write to you and tell you that he is no longer crying. He is healing. He is with Charles. He is cared for and loved and will be forever. Evil can never touch him again. I hope this wasn't too upsetting for you. It's okay if you don't believe any or some of it. I hope it helped it can help you in some way on your your own healing journey. See, I started messing things up. Thank you. No, that means the world to me. It really does. Wow. I think it's neat how God works and how He shows us things, you know. That was really, really uplifting. Thank you, Jaga's mom. Very much. Now I'm looking for the next one. So hold on just a second. Okay. This one is from Ashley Kane. Impact statement from my experience through this and watching everything unfold. First, let me say this is not a club that anyone wants to be a part of or have any experience in. Me hearing about this at first, just with this woman missing with her kids, always seemed that something was not right. I have to take something to drink. And that's an empty can. Always seemed that something was not right. I sadly know too well that there are some people that are so evil that they care about no one but their own selfish wants and needs. I know what it is like to have people do something so evil they have no reaction at all. Always put blame on others and pretend this is not a big deal. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You have dealt with that or dealing with that still, you know. My heart breaks for your family. I was making sure I didn't skip anything. I think the one that has touched me the most was JJ. The children were found on Chad's property that was so close to my own son's birthday. I keep thinking about how scared JJ was, how his dad and Tylee were his safe place. For someone to be so evil that killing Charles, Tylee, and JJ is just beyond evil. Going through the years with the ups and downs, I know how the emotional roller coaster is. You go from just sitting and staring at the wall. Yeah. Thinking you will wake up and it was all a nightmare. Yeah, I did that so many times with the word zombie. I would wake up and I would say, zombie, really, zombie? And I'd say, oh yeah, that's real. Ooh. Anyways, she says, to breaking down in the store, just trying to find a can of Comet to clean the bathroom. We want to be with our loved ones so much that we wish God would just let us be with them, wondering in your head how it is that this happened to such great and wonderful people. It has reminded me of all my ups and downs that I have went through as I am listening to you talk about all your different emotions. I always say it's okay, just be with your thoughts right now. I do know how slow the justice system works, and it really does suck, but lately I have looked at it as a way of us coming to terms. Well, I don't mean coming to terms, maybe. I mean just realizing the things that had been done. Thank you. Jason just brought me another drink. Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
That was sweet. I'm sorry. Okay. Well, I don't mean coming to terms. Maybe I mean just realizing the things that had been done, but also having the time to process all of our thoughts and emotions on certain levels of the case, so that when it is time for us to give a victim impact statement, we're able to look upon ourselves on all of our previous ups and downs and our journaling that we did throughout the years. Charles, Tylee, JJ, and Tammy will always be engraved in our eyes and in our brain and in our hearts, their young smiling faces. It is a shame that they both felt they needed to illuminate those wonderful people just to have a sense of power. Oh, yeah. And it was all about the money. Those who never cared about anybody but themselves. We will never forget about you and your family. Thank you. And all of the heartache that we went through right along with you and your family, learning the facts about this case and the brutal, senseless murders that happened. I do not think there is going to be anything that can ever be given to them as punishment to even bring back the innocent lives they stole from this whole world. Please know we are always here for you, and if you ever need to talk, all you have to do is call. I went through losing one. Oh my gosh. And you and your family have lost a few. Just can't imagine the emptiness y'all feel. Just remember, when you make your impact statement, you can say exactly how you feel and all the pain that hurts and the torture that you have gone through your family, every single person that has been affected and how it has affected you. It is your one time to yell and scream and curse. The judge will ask you to please look at him as you make the statement, but I would keep adding into my statement Lori and Chad's name, and honestly I would throw all those others and their names under the bus. Call them out for having blood on their hands just like the others. We'll forever be grateful for you sharing your stories about your Uncle Charles, Tylee, and most of all JJ. Stories make them real. That is what and how they want us to remember them. Your family is etched in my heart. So grateful that I could listen to all the stories and be there when we could listen to it finally being told in court. Thank you, Ashley Kane. That is so touching. Oh, these are hard to read though. I mean, I appreciate them. It's just, it makes them real, like you said, you know, it just makes you real. Oh my gosh. This is from, I guess you would say Eileen, or Eileen. I don't know how to say her name, but holy cannoli. Let me try. Let's see. If I can open them, I can. And so this is from her. Make sure y'all can see. No, you can't. Okay, because of the way I had it. These are pictures that she made. Oh my God, they're beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. I guess Eileen is her name. I don't know how to say it. But gorgeous work. Wow. Oh my God. These are just so touching. I don't know what to say. Wow. That is so beautiful. Oh my God, thank you. Oh my God, they're gorgeous. She's gorgeous. I love it. I love them. This was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for that. I'm going to say Eileen because I don't know how to pronounce your name. Thank you. And so she had written on June 8th, also here are AI renders of Tylee that I did with AI to help me create portraits. Thought they might, I guess, help me. Help me. I'm going to say it how she wrote it. Thought they might be cool to have as well. So I don't know. Those are gorgeous. And thank you. I want to credit you for those. I mean, they're just beautiful. Wow. Anyways, I mean, those are just, golly, they took my breath away, right? Donna, you were up, but did you have anything? I gotta turn the air on, so if you could talk for a little bit, that'd be great. I'm gonna cool it down in here. If you can. Just come on up.
All right.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, I'm on mute and
Can you hear me?
Can y'all hear me? All right. I'm gonna pull up some of the emails and read one. Kresha did it so good because I like read the wrong part. All right. For heaven's sakes, Kresha, don't lose faith in me. I'm hunting. If you could put one up there for me, let's see. Let's see. Well, I'm not doing very good with this, but I tell you what I am going to do, because it seems like that. It seemed like that whenever I can't find them, but what I'm going to do is share these pictures that Janet sent us of the beach with hers. So let's see. There you go. So we'll have Janet's pretty beach picture to look at that she sent with her statement. Some of the emails that I got seem to have a bunch of numbers and stuff in them instead of actually being text. And so I'm digging through them, and the ones that I am getting open are ones that she has already read. So I'm not a very good helper, it looks like. I should have been doing better about that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see. My people are going to be quitting and leaving if I don't do better.
You couldn't hear me the whole time. I was muted. I was like, okay, I'm about to read Beach Bums. So I was back there saying, hey, no, I'm here. I'm fine. You're great. I was muted the whole time. Okay, I'm so sorry, Donna. So Beach Bum said, Kresha, if this is terrible or you don't like it, don't use it. Oh, it doesn't matter. If I like it or not, I know I'm going to love it. I was trying to get done rushing, as always. I won't be offended. Anyways, she writes, to Tylee and JJ, I never had the opportunity to meet you. However, through video and pictures, I feel as though I do know you both, albeit vicariously through others like your Aunt Kresha. Your laughter, joy, your eyes dancing with the excitement of life, and your love for each other, your family and friends, shows your love of life and who each of you truly are. I am thankful for just a glimpse into your world. Although I didn't get to meet you here on this earth, you brought many people together in the fight for love and justice. You both live on through the hearts of beloved family members and friends. I know you are both dancing and rejoicing with the Lord in the best place ever, heaven. Tylee and JJ, you had a far bigger impact here on earth than your wee years could have known or imagined. You brought the world together, seeking truth, justice, understanding, and above all, love. JJ, your laughter, singing, and dancing are just too precious for words. What a delightful young man you are. Oh, thank you for sharing yourself with us. Tylee, you are the best, bestie big sister ever. Thank you for loving and protecting JJ. I understand your love of the beach and sea turtles. Yes. I am so glad you are never to be separated again from each other. Charles, while I did not know you, through Kresha we were introduced to you. You are a great father, son, brother, uncle, and friend to many. Most importantly, you loved the Lord. You were a faithful servant. I am heartbroken over the senseless way the three of you left this earth, but I fully believe that out of that a great community came together in your memory. Friendships were forged worldwide. People who otherwise would have never known each other were brought together by you. Charles, you were right. Love always wins, just as the evil that took you all away from loved ones. Life is but a vapor. You'll be reunited with loved ones one fine day. 'Cause you see, love is eternal. Rest in peace, Tylee, JJ, and Charles. You will not be forgotten. Love, Beach Bum. That was so good. You are just so good at this, you know? It's so hard. I know I've written the words, and they're in my notes over and over and over again, different ways, different times. Sometimes, usually at the spur of the moment, you know, when I'd go to read somebody else's comment or whatever, it would come to me, you know, and I'd usually copy and paste and not respond. Donna has read that one already from A. Aguilar. I think there's this one. Okay, this is, I don't know what she goes by. So I'm just going to read it. So we'll call her A also. Hi, Kresha. My name is Amanda Harris. I don't know you or your family, but your family's loss has impacted me greatly. I consider myself an empath, and this tragedy has kept me up many nights, so I can't even begin to imagine what you and your family are going through. I watch your lives, and I've also watched your home videos, and Sweet JJ reminds me of my 11-year-old son, Ian, in looks as well as personality. Oh, that's so sweet. I first heard about your family years ago when the kids went missing, and I've been following closely ever since. Also, my 3-year-old son's birthday is May 25th, just like JJ, so we just celebrated them both, oh, and lit a cupcake just for him and wished him happy birthday. That's so sweet. Thank you. I hope one day Lori snaps out of her delusions and is destroyed with the realization and agony of what she's done. By extinguishing the young and promising lives of those beautiful children that she never deserved. I'm working towards becoming certified in counseling for adults. That's awesome. And next I will be doing the same for children who have been victims of cults/abuse. That is so cool. I'm so glad to hear that. Your family story has touched me to my core, and that's the least I can do to honor JJ, Tylee, and all the other children like them. I was worried this email would come off as rude or strange. Not in the least. But I just wanted you and your family to know the world is absolutely broken and is standing with you in the demand for justice for JJ, Charles, Tylee, and Tammy. I will never forget them or their story. Also, keep up the awesome job you're doing exposing this evil cult and bringing the truth to the people. You're doing an honorable and beautiful job keeping your story and memory alive. Thank you so much. That's so much. A lot of times I don't know what I'm doing or why. Or I know why. I just get lost in it a lot, you know. I think as anybody would. I appreciate it though so much. I'm gonna rewatch this live, and then that's when it'll usually hit me, you know. And then somebody, Kim Love, had sent an email, but this is May 27th. Kim Love.
Me get rid of the camera.
Huh? What? Hello?
I was just going to say, can you hear?
Yeah.
It seems like it's getting very emotional. And we like when you out everything. I know it's hard to swallow for time, but we were thinking that maybe we should end and get some bread.
That sounds good.
Do some extra.
Yeah, that sounds great, actually. And that's why I made that thumbnail. Make it count for Lori, because she always said, doesn't count for me. Slapped her hand on the table, right? So make it count. Oh, let me move that real quick.
And you know, Wednesday there's going to be the court hearing for chat, and so we'll probably want to do a live that day.
There's the June 15th, which is when Lori goes to court. However, I don't know if it'll be live streamed or not. If it is, then we'll for sure come to you guys. If it's not, then we'll for sure still come to you and we'll talk about it, you know. So when is Chad's court hearing? Are you there? Donna D.
The 15th.
The 15th?
The 15th.
Okay, so it's the same day as
The 15th.
Okay, I didn't know they were the same day. But that's good. Yeah. Okay, well, good. We'll know some more, at least, by then. But I just want to thank you, Donna, and thank you, Beach Bum. Thank you, Trace on the Case, for moderating, for starting the show, for making sure that, you know, that this, no matter what, you know, I don't know how to say that. No matter what, there's times when I can't come, or I don't feel like I can. Although I know that once I do, I'm fine. You know, once I'm able to talk with you guys help ground me. You guys help me find my voice, to keep going. You remind me of the impact that these children had on your own lives. And I appreciate you for that. Love always wins. It always has, and it always will. So thank you for being here, and we will be back the next time. Love always wins. Thank you.